Now, about the Allemande, there are a few characteristics to remember. One, usually is the opening dance of a suite. We know this, etc., etc. Now, besides the historical things, succession of changing harmonies. The structure as a succession of chords makes the Allemande very similar to a prelude. First of all, we're talking about the Allemande, not the French dance at the time of Lully. This is the Allemande in the suite. No voice should stand out and no melody should lead the speech. This is exactly the opposite of what you did actually in the other Allemande, but you know.
Yes, exactly the opposite.
Yes, that's okay. Now, exactly. Now, because of its similarity to the prelude, the melody we could hear comes from the interactions between all the voices. There's no limitation to a specific number of the voices. This means that even if a three-voice structure must prevail, we can freely pass from a 2, 3, 4 or more voice texture to another 2, 3, 4 or more voice texture. Also, a one-part texture is possible if we imagine arpeggios and to the top, from the top to the bottom, and from the bottom to the top. Imitative figures usually are very short, made up of 3 or 4 notes. Then, even if in the writing is basically free, all the dissonances must be prepared. In other words, they must follow the PSR rules. The resulting melody, originated from the harmonic succession and spread through all the voices, is good if it is characterized by a specific common rhythmic unit. Think to the... We have an idiomatic melody. Then the Allemande, follows the binary refrain form. So from 1 to 5. Then the ritornello bar, second section of the piece from 5 to 1. In minor modes, instead of going to the fifth degree, it's possible to go to the third degree, the major relative key. Modulation gives to the Allemande a dynamic direction, so it's very important. The time signature is 4/4 or better, the common time, which is a semicircle.
Well, I got that. At least I got the meter right.
At least the meter, yes. And the number of the bars is usually the same, and usually is 8 plus 8, 16 plus 16. The performing tempo of the Allemande is neither too slow nor too fast. Each section of the Allemande usually begins with an anacrusic figure, an 8th note or a 16th note or 3 16th notes. You put 4 16 notes actually in the second one. Then, exactly. Now, there are a few Allemandes which are very interesting to analyze, at least these 3 Allemandes. One of of 3 different styles. Let me see if, because I remember I have another PDF. No, it's this one. Now, let's do an analysis of this first Allemande, because I really think that one is one of the most beautiful Allemande in the world. And you see it, because beyond this Allemande, there are a lot of compositional techniques which are really amazing for this style. What do they are? This is the Allemande in A major by Handel. I'll play it. I'll play the first section and the second section.
it's really beautiful. It's interesting at the very end that the final cadence ends on a weak beat.
No, it does not happen on a weak beat. Now I'll tell you why. That's very amazing. Now I'll show you. Now, let's identify the phrasing, because what is one of the most important elements of this Allemande is the phrasing. Even though the number of the bars is not the same, because we have 7, 8, 9 bars in the first section, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the second section. You know, it's not so common to find 9 to 9, 9 plus 9. It's more common to find 8 plus 8 or 6 plus 6, even 10 plus 10 plus 9, you know. But what is very interesting here is the phrasing, because it's very regular. Now, what do we mean with phrasing? The Allemande, the rhythm of the Allemande is starting here on the upbeat. And this is an hypothetical fourth beat, actually the fourth beat that we have here. So, ta tam pa pa sol sol fa la sol fa mi fa la sol fa la. It's clear that we have one phrase composed of this section, which is 2 bars, and we have beats number 4, 1,
Right.
2, and 3, breath 4, 1, 2, and 3. Now, what's the pattern in the bass here? What's this pattern?
Well,
What?
it's Romanesca.
Bravo. Leaping Romanesca.
Right.
Fa, sol, la. Let's use another chord which is more powerful, like the purple. Fa, sol, la, mi, fa, do, fa. And another very interesting thing, what we said before about the fact that the melody is the result of the interaction of different voices. Here, instead of writing one single voice in the left hand, Handel used the style brisé. It's true that we have actually only one voice at the end, but it is spread between 2 voices. Pum 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 pum. Then after this, a new phrase is starting, and the new phrase of 2 bars is starting on beat number 4, and it's arriving up to beat number 3. So as you can see, the regularity here is very marked. Now we have beats 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, with a half cadence. And what's the pattern that we have in this second section? So here we said that we have the leaping Romanesca plus the just, you know, a cadence, a counterpoint cadence.
Right.
What do we have here?
Well, I was going to say it looks like down 2 up.
No. Focus on this voice, because we have 3 voices actually now.
Right.
Focus on the middle voice.
Yeah, it's not moving. So quiescenza.
No.
No, quiescenza. No. I don't know what it is.
It's the Fenaroli at the opposite. Instead of mi fa sol la, it's la sol fa mi, with this canon. La sol fa mi, 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 re.
I'm ashamed to admit that I didn't realize that. Not only did I not realize it was a Fenarole, I am also not quite sure what Fenarole is, although I've seen it. I just don't. I never learned it really well.
Yeah, we'll arrive to it. It's in stage 6.13.
Right.
But by the way, the Fenaroli works this way. We have three main ingredients. One of these ingredients is a long fifth degree, and here we have a long fifth degree. And another ingredient is the canon between, which says in the major mode la sol fa mi, or better mi fa sol la actually. But here is inverted. It's in contrary motion. I mean, it's inverted than the regular one.
Okay.
It should be this one. But here is at the contrary. And notice how we have in this phrase the and here we are in D major. In this section, it's like if we were in D major. Why? Because the fifth degree is A of our Fenaroli. And even in phrasing, La Sol Fa Mi 1, La Sol Fa Mi 2, and the third time, La Sol Fa Mi Re, with the half cadence here. Half cadence.
Right.
Then, after this, where we have the Fenaroli, we have another Fenaroli. So another in A major. But even if we have another Fenaroli, it's not repeated exactly the same, because this time the fifth degree it's at the top. It's not in the middle.
Yeah.
So we have the representation of something we have already heard, but in another different way. It's not the same. The green voice, we can say, is to the top, in the top.
Yes. Right.
And that's very important to point out. And then only here actually is switches to the middle voice. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Because Handel wanted La Sol Fa Mi Re to do another half cadence. So here we are from D major. We can do this way from D major. From D major to the half cadence of A major. So E. Now the new Fenaroli is from A major to the half cadence of E major, so B.
Right.
Now we have another Fenaroli, which is even different, yes, from E major to B major, as you can see. And the reason why we have 9 bars is that now we have a phrase which is 3 bars long, the last phrase. And so I'll play now the last phrase, so the last line. We have two main differences. That now the Fenaroli is in the right position, so it's not La Sol Fa Mi, but is Mi Fa Sol La. As you can see, Mi Fa Sol La, Mi Fa, finishing with the kind of deceptive cadence. But so, and we have another thing. So Mi Fa Sol La here, Mi Fa Sol La, even here, and Mi Fa. We have 2 times the fifth degree. We can say one in the. Oh no, I changed. I missed the color. That's why. I should do this color red. That's why. Okay. Here, the fifth degree, it's green in the middle, and even another one at the top. So we have another level of variety, the mirror version plus the 2 fifth degree. So we have another Fenaroli. Let's write it. So we have it Fenaroli, and this Fenaroli is followed by, tell me what is it? What follows? You know it. You know it. What's this? We studied it. Pay attention.
Yes. Let's see. Wow. So starting at the third beat of the next to last measure.
The third beat, so you mean here the fifth degree actually of the cadence?
Starting there.
Okay, nice. What's this?
Well, okay, it's some kind of cadence. It's a compound cadence.
No, it's the double cadence.
That's what I meant. No, I'm kidding. Yes.
The one arriving with the 7, 6,
Right,
4.
because it gets to E and then it does it again. Of course it's compound. Yes.
The one arriving with the
Double, I mean, double. Yes.
Fa, mi, re, do. And what's very interesting is that even though if we have the rest, this is a 7, 6, 7, 6, 5, 1. And this cadence is just a confirmation of the last cadence. It's not the true cadence. The real cadence is this one. This is just another confirmation. That's why when you said before, it's very weird that we have a cadence here. I told you, no, pay attention, that we do not have a cadence on the third beat. It's here the true cadence. Even with the third, you can see. We have some cases where, due to the rhythm, we have cadences in a strange position. And I show you it later after this analysis, where is a piece where the cadence is in a very weird position, but there is a specific reason about that. Now, the very beautiful thing of the last phrase, besides the compound cadence, which is very beautiful, and so let's try. Here we have a kind of 7/6 forward on, but the very beautiful thing, and then double cadence, is that the last phrase is moving from E major, we said, so because it's the fifth degree, from E major to, to
B major.
Yeah, to the chord of B major, which is actually the fifth degree of E, so the fifth of E, to E major, which is the fifth of A.
Right.
Now, the very interesting thing is that in the second part, here we have the repetition of the same thing, but a fifth down from E major to A major at the end. It's the same, eh? There are no differences. Now, I'll play the last phrase of the first part. And then the last phrase of the second part. It's the same, just transpose the fifth down. This is a very powerful technique used by Baroque composer to do something from the fifth degree. So in modern terms, from the fifth of the fifth to the fifth, and then from the fifth to the first. It's a very common technique used by Baroque composer. Then,
it's interesting that the B section begins at the same point that it cadenced in the A section, which is, I guess that's normal. Yeah.
In the same point, yes. Why? Because the phrasing of the second section follows the same number of the bars. 2 bars from beat 4 to beat 3, plus other 2 bars from beat 4 to beat 3. And at the end of this section and the end of this beat, we have the main cadence of the second part, which is a cadence to the minor key, in this case F sharp minor. It's very important to have at the half of the second part a cadence to the minor key. Here, exactly the same, at bar number 4 we have a cadence to F sharp minor, finishing at bar number 4. Then at beat number, beat number 3, and the new phrase will start on beat number 4 here. Then this is a transition phrase from F sharp minor to E major, which helps us to reconnect to our E major and come back to A major. So let's analyze this section. The first phrase begins with the Romanesca, as at the beginning, no differences. But instead of repeating the same thing, the arriving point of Handel, hum 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 pa fa mi, is the fifth degree of F sharp minor, as you can see. So, and we have a little breath. Then the next phrase, if you notice, recalls a lot our Fenaroli, especially in the long fifth degree that we have here. But then it changes, and so we even have parallel thirds, 3, 3, 3, 3, which are very important. And what is even very interesting is that this cadence, look at this cadence. Imagine a very long fifth degree. And even here, imagine this. A very long fifth degree this way. If we take, let's do this. Let's use other colors. Let's use orange. So we used blue for the bass. Here we have the same in the bass, but the suspension arriving from the 7th, let's say purple, fa mi re do, this one, fa mi re, now is sol in the top, and it's the voice which takes a diminution. Sol, fa, mi, re. And the other voice, the one featuring the leading tone, so let's say red. Pa, 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 pum, pa, pa, pum, pa, pum. The one featuring the leading tone, da, 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 pum, pum, pa, pum, pum, is the same here. So it's another double cadence, but where the bass is not along fifth degree, but it's clearly 1 5 5 1 5 5 1.
Right.
Then double cadence. This one, this way. And what about the next phrase? So we have the cadence to F sharp minor. Let's play it. What's this? Re, mi, fa, sol, do. Now, re, mi, fa, sol. It's a little sequence. Re, mi, fa, sol, do, fa, followed by fa, mi, re, do, Prinner. Fa, mi, re, do, Prinner. Here we have this imitation double cadence and la, sol, fa, mi, la, sol, fa, mi. We even have the two la, sol, fa, mi, la, sol, fa, mi. La, let's use another color, maybe red. La, sol, fa, mi, la, sol, fa, mi. ending with this kind of half cadence, or better, because it's a modulating primer, so it's not exactly half cadence, exactly as before, actually the other one here to B to E major, and then we can start the end, which is exactly the same repetition of the last phrase of the first part, but a fifth down. So the second part sounds this way. It's divided into two parts. First part up to the cadence to F sharp minor, and the second part come back with the final cadence to A major. Even here, the first part is composed of two parts. 9 plus 9, which are 4 plus 5, ritornello 4 plus 5. And so the second part is where it sounds.
Nice.
It's a very complex piece.
Yes,
As you can
indeed.
see, it seems, simple because you have just a few elements, 18 bars, but look how much coherent it is in the figures, in the elements, in the figurations. Yes,
It's amazing.
yes, very amazing. Now I send you this PDF so you can
Great.
study.
Thank you.
But I want to show you before one more thing. Wait a moment. Do you remember that I told you that there are some cases where cadences are outside of the rhythm? I mean, not on downbeat. Here is the cadence, this saraband. Now, I'll play you very quickly this saraband, because here we have some cadences, the last cadence, on the third beat, which is very weird. Even here, the last cadence is on the third beat. But there is a specific reason. Even here, this cadence is on the third beat. Tell me. Now I'll play it, it's very short, but tell me if you understand why, because there's a specific answer.
I have no idea.
So the answer is that all this saraband is composed of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 bars, which all these bars follow the rhythm long, short, long, short, long. And so that's why the last beat, which have an important weight, is this one. And so long, short. Here, pam, pam. Because we have a very particular saraband compared to other rhythms. This is by Louis Couperin. And since we have this rhythm, it's logical that the final note, the cadence happens here. Pam, 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 pam. Because of the rhythm.
I'll have to send you my saraband.
Yeah, next time. Actually, with only one keyboard does not make an effect. I should play with the full harpsichord. That's why. Pam, pam, pam,
Yeah.
tan, ta, tu, tu, tin, tam. Here I imagine Lully beating the time with the how do you say the bastone, the stick, the vertical stick, and
Yeah. I think what we call it in English is a walking stick.
yes, exactly, the walking stick and hurting his feet, his foot.
It's a famous story. It's
Exactly.
very sad, actually.
Sometimes it takes very little to improve, just a little, but every day. You look at a sheet of music and it seems like a random collection of notes, and now you can't connect them. But if you know how to reveal the meaning and the connection between the notes, you can discover magical and wonderful paths hidden among the melodies and harmonies. You sit at the keyboard, but you don't know where to start composing or improvising a piece. But if you know the right techniques, even just with a few compositional elements, you can create something wonderful. You study a piece, you can play it technically well, but don't understand what's happening harmony and counterpoint wise. But if you change the perspective with which you read and play those notes, you can literally change the way you see them. That's actually a kind of magic. Every month, every week and every day you can have something special and valuable like this. Video analysis, a lot of PDFs analysis and handouts of pieces to truly understand what's happening in each passage, in each piece. Improvisation elements like this of the other day of how to improvise a fugue. Practical exercises to learn how to compose music and how to become better at improvising. Fugues, chorale, freeforms and more. Composition and improvisation pills to discover how the great composers crafted certain passages and learn to imitate them correctly. All of this on Patreon. So much content to explore, so much to learn, and many preview projects to discover. Go to this link, choose the best level for you, and start your adventure.